Hey everybody. Welcome from England. There we go. Got our little logos stuck up at the top, ready to go. Um, so wanted to welcome everyone this evening, this week actually, because I'll be reposting some of this later on in the week. And I want to talk about some digital health roles in the US and the UK for nurses and doctors, right? So, this is a whole world that exists in parallel. It's just adjacent to the clinical world, but we are usually just not trained on it. We don't even know that it exists. So, I want to start with that fact in my life. So I I've been working for about the last 25 years. All of the work that I've talked about previously on my all of my different social medias, working in the UK for a hospital in Dubai, making a couple hundred grand a year, and I've done all of that in a job that did not exist when I passed my nursing boards. Not the title, not the department, not the work, not the career path, none of it. Just didn't exist, full stop. Um, think about that. I've spent the entire time in something that my school of nursing couldn't prepare me for because it didn't exist. And right now, the same thing's happening again. Brand new roles are being created, roles that someone watching this live could spend their entire career in. It's not a side hustle, not a stepping stone. It's a full, well paid, meaningful career that doesn't exist yet. You're not going to find it on a job board. And that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. So I just put out a new blog this week breaking down the five main digital health career paths for doctors and nurses in 2026, and I wanted to walk you through them. But more importantly, I want to show you maybe which one fits you. So tonight, if you're a doctor or a nurse, drop me a comment. I want to know sort of who's listening, who's up for switching their career roles. So before I get into the roles, let me tell you what's happening in healthcare right now, because the timing of this conversation is not random. Uh, a major report just came out. 2 in 5 healthcare workers in the U.S. say their jobs feel unsustainable. Not hard, not a bit tough, unsustainable. 55% are considering leaving within the next year, and 80% say the wellness programs their employers offer, they don't work. Because yoga in the break room doesn't fix being short-staffed half the time. The American Hospital Association just revealed that their 2026 workforce scan, and you know what they're calling for? Alternative career pathways, cross-training programs, remote and hybrid clinical roles. This is literally what I coach people into. Uh, so, I saw it coming first. um, oh, got some kind of error on my stream. Not really sure what to make of it. We'll figure it out later. Um, anyway, the I've been saying this for years. The system isn't going to fix itself. You have to make a decision, and I know it's uncomfortable because I was the first person in my family to leave a safe job. Um, I Nobody in my family had ever been self-employed, and that's what I learned. It was a traditional employment and freelancing. They carry the same risk, and just that one pays you better. So if you're sitting there thinking maybe next year, the data is telling you next year it gets harder, not easier. So let's work on it this year. All right, so here's the five paths. In my blog this week, I broke down something that confuses almost everyone when they look into digital health first, and it's the titles: CNIO, CMIO, CCIO, clinical informaticist, digital nurse specialist, clinical AI lead. It's like an alphabet soup. But behind the jargon, there are really just 5 main career paths. Each one suits a different personality. So path one, clinical informatics and EHR optimization. This is for the puzzle solvers. You're the one who looks at the discharge summary template and thinks, why do we have to click 47 times to do this? You make systems work for clinicians instead of against them. In the US, this pays $120,000 to $185,000 a year. In the UK, it's $80,000 to £130,000 a year. So it's a big career opportunity. Path two, implementation and transformation. This is for the people out there. You lead the go live. You train your super users. You sit with the resistant doctors at 7 a.m. and tell them why this actually makes their life easier. In the US, $130,000 to $195,000 a year. It's a great job. Path three, industry and startup roles. This is for the entrepreneurial ones of us out there. The work that you do will then be inside of health tech companies. I mean, it could be Epic, like a giant company, or it could be a 20-person startup building an AI tool. You shape the product. You're the clinical voice in the room. US, $150,000 a year, $250,000 plus equity. The equity could be worth nothing, could be worth millions. It's a risk that you take, and that is attractive for people who should be on path three. Path four, safety, governance, and quality. This is for the meticulous, patient-centered thinkers. You make sure AI tools don't cause harm. You review algorithms for bias and a million other problems. US, $140,000, $200,000 a year. And then finally, there's leadership. Path five. These are the strategists. You set digital direction for entire health systems. In the US, $220,000 a year, $400,000 a year. Which one of these is compelling to you? Because this is basically the digital health landscape. So let's go ahead and take a look at the digital health world right now and what's going on, because there's some huge lawsuits happening. Epic, the biggest provider out there, they do lots of great things. They are suing people and they're being sued. And that's exactly why we want to stay vendor agnostic. So this month, Epic, the biggest EHR company in the world with 42% of the entire US healthcare market, 325 million patient records, is in legal chaos. The Texas Attorney General sued them for monopolizing the EHR market and restricting access to patient data. At the same time, Epic is suing Health Gorilla for improperly accessing nearly 300,000 patient records. And they're already fighting an antitrust lawsuit from Particle Health. Meanwhile, in this same week, Epic launched their brand new AI charting tool, a built-in ambient scribe that listens to your appointments, your interactions with patients, and writes your notes for you. So mostly all you have to do is sign off. And every standalone AI scribe startup out there is now scrambling to justify why hospitals should keep paying them and why Epic bundles it in. The lesson? So here's what I want you to understand. I've watched this cycle before. When I started in digital health, one vendor dominated, and then another rose, and then mergers happened, and then lawsuits happened. The companies change. The technologies change. The need for clinical professionals who understand workflow and patient safety, that never changes. So this is why I tell everyone, do not build your entire career on a single vendor's logo. Build it on your on your clinical expertise. Build it on your ability to bridge the gap between technology and patient care. That skill is vendor agnostic. That skill is recession proof. That skill is what gave me 25 years of work across multiple countries, systems, and vendors. The people who bet their whole career on being the Cerner person or the Epic person or whatever are the ones who panic when the market shifts. The people who position themselves as clinical transformation experts, they just move on to the next project. Guess which ones I want my clients to be. But for a second here, I want to come back to what I said at the start, because this is something that really matters to me personally. When I told my family I was leaving to go to work in digital health, they didn't understand. My mom, my dad, nobody in the family, nobody had ever done anything like this. So there was no template really. And the role I was going into didn't really have a name, and it didn't really make sense to anyone outside of like a hospital IT department, right? Just people didn't get it. But I could see the pattern. Hospitals were going to digitize. They were going to need people who understood clinical work and technology, and I was right. And that wave created an entire career for me. And now I'm like trying to pay it forward and get other people help into coming for the next wave. And that's what's going on right now. We're in that same exact inflection point, but it's bigger. AI is not a feature. It's not an upgrade. It is a fundamental reshaping of how healthcare is delivered and will be delivered. And the roles being born right now, clinical AI validation specialist, AI safety assessor, workflow integration consultant, these are not temporary gigs, and they're not things that existed a few years ago. Someone watching this live tonight could spend their entire career in one of these roles, the same way I've spent almost all of my career in roles that didn't exist when I started. Industry leaders are saying 2026 is the year AI shifts from being isolated pilot programs to full enterprise scale deployment. Ambient AI scribes are becoming standard, and one study has shown the burnout prevalence has fallen from 51.9% to 38.8% after just 30 days of using the AI scribes. Hospitals need people to implement this, to train staff, to assess safety, and to lead the change. And those people need to be clinicians, not software engineers, clinicians, because emotions, intuition, and clinical training create insights that AI cannot reproduce. You are the bridge. Hello, Stephanie Kingston. So is this for me? So I'll answer a question, and I'll tell you your digital health path here. All right, so let's make this practical. If you're still wondering which path is right for you, and the answer is can be from one of these questions here. Which one energizes you the most? Fixing a broken system or helping people navigate change? So fixing the system, maybe you should go into clinical informatics. Helping the people, maybe you should go into implementation and transformation. Paths 1 and 2, respectively. Neither one of those? What excites you is building something new from scratch? Go to industry, path 3. Your first instinct is always, but is this safe for the patient? Go into safety and governance, path 4. You're thinking, I want to set the direction for all of this. Make sure everyone gets it right. Go into leadership, path 5. There's something there for everyone. It's a vast array of opportunities. So digital health isn't some just, one little side thing that you can do. And here's the thing that none of these paths require. Night shifts, weekends, missing your kids' birthdays because you couldn't swap a shift. Many of these roles are remote and or hybrid. I worked for a hospital in Dubai while living in the UK. That's the kind of freedom clinical expertise in digital health can give you. So here's the wrap up for us today. I wrote something in this week's blog that I want to leave you with. You already have the rarest asset in digital health, which is real clinical experience. Now it's just a matter of pointing that expertise in the right direction. I put a quiz on my website, which digital health path fits you. It takes a couple of minutes to fill it out, and it gives you a personalized starting point. The link is in Rod Gamble, which is down at the bottom of the page. If you're serious about making this transition, if you're done thinking about it and ready to actually move, book a call with me. Let's talk about it, and we'll map out exactly where your clinical background fits and what your first 2 or 3 steps are. The link is in my bio on all of my different social medias. And I do these lives once a week. You'll notice some of my other material that I put up is digital avatars. So I'm actually using some of that AI in my real life work now. But at least once a week, I want to come on and actually just be live and make the mistakes and be like a real regular person, so that everyone can see that I'm actually real. So thank you all for being here tonight. Drop any questions in the comments or DM me. Sometimes people don't want to ask questions in front of other people or in public spaces, so that's fine. Just DM me and I'll get right back in touch with you. Thanks, everyone. Good night.